Hello everyone, this is Kim with Abundant Life Tarot, and we are doing our October favorites video. One of my favorite videos to make, of course, each month. So let's get started because you know I've got lots to chat about. October was a great month for me. Lots of transformation, and that didn't come as a surprise for me because I'm in a state of influx right now. A great transformations going on with me in terms of my career life, my vocation, my passion pursuits growing and expanding while my vocation is shifting and changing. So I've been serious transformation. And I did an annual, like how you can do your yearly forecast reading. I did that back, I think, in December or January for myself. And I got the Ten of Swords for October. And I have to tell you, I was fretting and kind of sweating bullets over this month. Like, what is going to happen? What's happening? And October's not quite over yet as I'm recording this video right now. But I have to say, I now know what that Ten of Swords is about. And it's been a beautiful process. Some new beginnings are happening as some things are coming to a close in my life. My vocation, what I do to really buy all those decks that you guys see, that is shifting and changing. I am being called to close that chapter in my life. There's something in my company that's going on where they are making business decisions to phase out certain aspects of this part of the business from this part of the country. They want to move it somewhere else, and I don't want to go to this somewhere else. And I don't know if I really want to stay in this industry much longer. I've been in it for next year, it'll be 20 years, and I want to do something else, or at least evolve into doing something else. So that is coming to an end, and it's beautiful. I've been blessed to have beautiful transitions when it comes to job changes. Like my job changes, what I manifest is these things where we're mutually parting ways. I'm leaving, it's on my terms. I always put that as a mantra for myself, especially when I was having job troubles way back in the day. I always would say, I end to begin my job on my own terms. So it's something I used to say to help kind of juice me up and pump me up. I don't say it anymore because now I just believe it and know it to be true. But so it's beautiful. But there's been new beginnings. I got approved through the county for a business license to be able to do my online tarot readings in my county. Yay! And to sell my crystals and my jewelry. And so that's been exciting. That happened this month. I finally got approved after waiting for some time. Like, oh my God. I had to appeal to the zoning area, and like I had to write a letter to them, and they said, oh my goodness, they said, wow, this has never come up before. This is unique. But they also said, strangely enough, within the last several months, they have been getting various kinds of requests of this metaphysical variety. So they needed to address this particular issue. And so my question came in and finally caused them to have a meeting, like a board meeting, to make the decision on if they would allow these things in my county. I live in an unincorporated area that does not have a mayor. We have like a board of supervisors, and it's just a different process that you have to go through. But the business license process is pretty much the same, probably county to county. But anyways, so it took them a while, but they approved it. And the email I got last month, that the zoning people were like, yeah, we got it approved in the meeting. They said, yay. She was like, yay. Like she would put like a little exclamation point. And I was like, oh, look, a little county worker, like all juice because I get to start my little baby business. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. So then I got approved like this past week for the actual license. So that's awesome. It just like, I don't need the legitimacy of it all, but it kind of is nice. Like I get to say, okay, I have a license. So there, take that, naysayers. Anyways, so I'm juiced. It's a beautiful Ten of Swords moment. Yeah, I'm sad. Of all the memories I've been making and the line of work I've been doing, all the experience I have, maybe I'll be a consultant of some sort. I don't see me just completely quitting. Obviously, I've got bills to pay, but yeah, like things change and grow and we move on. And I'm loving the new season of life that I'm in right now. But with that said, I had a lot of anxiety. You guys have to know, I've been dealing with a lot of anxiety this year, if I'm to be perfectly honest. I'm the person who, you know how there's people who are chronically depressed and then they might have anxiety? I'm the opposite. I am the person who would probably tend to have chronic anxiety that leads to depression because you're like, damn, I can't even be happy because I'm so damn worried about everything. Like, just everything's unreal. So I've been really looking at that and saying, I don't want that to be my experience. So I've been trying some different natural things to help me. And also I've been realizing that some of the stuff that my anxiety is not even mine. And what I mean by that is that I realize I'm an empath. And maybe a lot of the anxiety I've been carrying around is not really mine. So more about that in a little bit. We'll talk more about that journey I've been on. But nevertheless, I still have anxiety, and obviously about the transitions I'm making in my life in terms of my vocation and careers. I'm like waking up in the middle of the night like, oh, what's going on? What do I need to be doing? I don't know. And I did a weekly reading, maybe last week or the week before, where I was talking about what would help. What a tool to use is making sure you ground. And I remember feeling earlier in or the mid part of October, like kind of freaking out. And I said, what can I do right now to feel better? Y'all should know. I drummed. Hold on. Let me take her out. Oh, I drummed, and I don't have like any special kind of rhythm, and I just make up my own little drumming, beats or whatever. I'm not gonna have it going off because my mic is like right underneath here, so I won't do all of that and like jar your speakers. But I love my drum. This is a favorite. I was so glad that I started thinking outside of the box on ways to ground. I use bell chimes. I dance. I did a lot of beadwork. I was a part of a harvest festival at my daughter's school where I sold crystals and I sold bracelets and necklaces that I made, and I did a reading or two. That was exciting. And it was like, I felt so blessed to be in a state in this country, in the United States, where kids knew about like lapis lazuli and malachite and was talking to me about it, and they were excited, and they were like, look, it's crystals, and they were all excited about my little booth, and there was fancier booths there, and there's my little booth with no tent, and the guy let me borrow a tent. He just brought it over and sat it on top of my booth. Anyways, I'm rambling, but it was so much fun. I did really well, surprisingly, and the kids loved it. It totally made sense to sell at the school, and I was so grateful that the school was like, yeah, come on. And it was just amazing. So it was an amazing time, and I was so impressed by the kids. I was like, what? They know what now? Yeah, I felt really like, wow. I felt blessed that day. Let me tell you. So, my drum is a favorite and stays a favorite, as is the little case that I keep, my little travel case that I keep it in. So yeah, when I feel like anxious and I need to get back into the body and get back to me and what I need to be doing earthly, I make some jewelry, I do my drumming, I journal, I really try to interact with people that I love and care about and really focus in and just trying to be back in the earthly experience of it all. So there you have it with the drum. Only one crystal to talk about. That is my celestial, or aka alligator quartz rough rock crystal. I love this thing so flippin' much. It's another crystal that's like the my Lemurian, which, let me just, okay, I was only going to talk about this one. Of course, this is my other baby. Where it's like, you'll just one day need to like walk down a certain path. You need to go down this certain way, and you need to like see this certain vendor, and then you find this stone. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's meant to be. And yeah, I'm not going to go too long because I got a lot of decks to talk about and a couple of things with the books to go over with you also. I got to move on. Can't even talk about crystals. More to come, I'm sure, in the future. And a crystal of the month. This will probably be featured at some point in the future. So look out for that. And I already talked about the Lemurian in the past crystal of the month. Books. Have Tarot Will Travel, a comprehensive guide to reading at festivals as a tarot professional, written by Jenna Matlin. I found out about this book because I'm thinking about going to, is it the Northwest Tarot Symposium? Probably making up the name, but it's, you know, a major tarot conference in Portland, Oregon, which is the state right above California. And my husband and I were saying we could make a long weekend of it. During the day, I'm doing my little tarot conference thing, and he's exploring, you know, Oregon or whatever. So we're figuring that out. But I wanted to learn more about some presenters that were going to be there. And she was going to be at one particular day. I planned to be there. And so I found this book on Amazon, and I am loving it. I didn't know about this because I wasn't really ever planning on doing a lot of in-person readings or festival readings. But after doing some of the little small locally kind of stuff, I'm like getting the bug, and I really realized that if I want to have more of a sustainable business with tarot, I definitely need to get out into the community that I live in and try to explore that way as well, especially now that I got a little business license going on. So that this book was timely, and you can read it in like really one setting, but I've read it more like a reference, like jumping here, jumping there. Like it talks about, and listen, let me just read the dedication. This is dedicated to those who are considering the long leap into self-employment, leaving the safe spaces society assigns us in order to grasp at the mystery that underpins all of our lives as a breathless, wonder-filled journey. It can be terrifyingly long. It can be a terrifyingly long jump, but I know that Spirit is carrying you over that gap. Be like the fool and look skyward. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, I just love the gift that she gave us here. She breaks it up into using like the minors, major arcana as the start of her chapters. Like the first section is expressing the inner world to the outer. So you want to read at festivals. It talks about, do you want to do festival work as a tarot reader? The festival that fits where you are right now, getting out of your own way. What client do you want to read for? Where to find festivals? The festival culture and the coordinator. Interesting. The devil, stigma, bias, and bigotry. Oh my. Mark your calendar or make your calendar. I like that idea, and I haven't read that part yet. Do your work best alone or with a co-reader. Creating your big picture. Taxes, licenses, insurance, and business registration. Oh my. She goes on and on and on. It's just a wealth of information. It's a short read. Very, very good. Very good. Tarot spreads for Empaths. 20 spreads for your unique gifts by Jennifer Soldner. I've mentioned this one. I don't know if I said I know what I said about it. I was going to do a video, and I am still. I haven't forgotten. It's still in my little list of videos to do. But I want to do a spread, and I wanted to do one very soon. Maybe today if I have time. I have a reading that I have to do it. But I had woken up. I did one of those waking up with the anxiety situations again. And there's been a lot of energies in the air going on. So I wanted to see if it was mine or if it was part of something else. And so there's a spread in there for that. Love this book. I talked to one of my subscribers and fellow YouTube heads. I guess YouTube heads. YouTube tarot heads. That's what I feel like we are. And I realized, I was like, oh, I like this little book. It's, it's a little book. It's a little spread of books. And I don't know. Some people might be like, I expect a lot more for a spreads book, and I get that, but the spreads that are included and the little bits of information, I'm glad I got it. So it is a favorite, and it will be coming soon for more information. All right, decks. And I was going to say something about my YouTube channels. I like to do a shout out to YouTube channels. I've been so busy and just in so much chaos because at work I'm super busy, and my tarot business and that stuff busy, family busy. I say this all the time, but now I'm really busy, so I don't get a chance to watch as many videos as I'd like. But I have a watch list, and I slowly but surely I make my way through it. So yeah, so keep a lookout for the future favorites when I'm able to actually do some shout outs on some channels. Decks. I like to go in a particular order because then I like to try to, when I'm mentioning the decks, if I mention them in the description, then people can kind of be like, oh yeah, you followed along there. Lenormand, Anna K. I'm only going to show a few cards for each deck. I don't think that I may have done an unboxing of this deck, but I probably have not talked about it much since. My Lenormand decks, here's the guidebook. I don't normally do readings for others with it. It would be someone who specifically asked for a Lenormand reading that would get one. I do Lenormand readings for myself. I like the straight to the point answers. In fact, I use Lenormand to help me find missing objects now because I just love its direct approach. And if I'm like, did the dog have something to do with it? It will literally jump with the dog. The dog card, if the dog had something to do with it. But if the dog didn't, it'd be like, no, I got the moon card the other night. And then I got the high priestess at one point. I figured out in all those instances what was going on. Guidebook, like a little flat book. Really good guidebook. Here's the backs. It's got bonus cards like this Joker one that's reversible, and you can see it from 2 different perspectives in reverse. I like that. I like bonus cards. Some people don't. I do. It's got 2 men cards, 2 women cards. Letter. I love this deck. Love it. Oh my gosh. There's 2 lily cards. There's the tree. I love how the images just kind of come out into the border. It spills out onto the border. It's so gorgeous. I think Anna K outdid herself with this one. It makes me want to do Lenormand all the time. And in fact, it almost makes me want to get rid of I think I have 7 Lenormand decks. I think only like 2 I really use. This one, and I don't even know what the other one is. I can't even think of it right now. Oh, got some mix on this one. Book. Here's a white fox. I can't remember if there's an extra fox card or not. Ring. So yeah, I'm not going to go through all of them. I'm pretty sure I did an unboxing, but if not, I may end up doing a deck and focus on it because it's a very good deck for many different purposes for readings. And it probably would be an awesome reader for other, like professional readings or paid readings or readings for others. But right now I'm just mostly comfortable using Lenormand for readings for myself. All right. Next is the Halloween Oracle. Oh, that's right here. Actually, before I get back that other thing, and let me take a sip of my beverage, please. Pardon me. Stacey DeMarco, the Halloween Oracle. I recently did an unboxing of this, so I'm not going to go through the cards. But I love this deck. I love it, love it, love it. At first I was like, oh, I don't even want to deal with Halloween, but I'm softening to Halloween first of all. And I'm so glad I got over the worry about it being too like themey. I don't care. This is a really good deck. It's very good for divination. I like the predictive powers it has. I love how it can give really good advice. Really good, really, really good deck. Happy I got it. It is a favorite right now. And now we move to the White Rabbit Oracle that I have combined with the Oracle of Nightmares. This is what I've done. I think I talked about this before in another favorites. It could have been last month's favorites. It's now chunky, and I have not edged the White Rabbit Oracle. I don't know if I will, because I might end up separating these two. But they're both created by Ariana Siegel. This is an independently produced deck. I purchased both through Etsy, I believe, but she does, I think, sell them on her own website. White Rabbit Oracle is the website. Love this deck. I love it, love it, love it. You guys know I have this thing where I like to look at the overall energies that are kind of like, especially when I'm doing like oracle readings, like what would be the major arcana kind of stuff going on. That's kind of something, the underpinning of it all that we can't really change, but we're just working through. This is the deck that I use for that purpose. And it's more of my fall winter deck for that purpose. Here's Attainment. Here's I wanted more of a balance, and I wanted a lot of cards for this deck, and I wanted more of a balance of shadow and light. Withdrawal. This is the Oracle of Nightmares. Withdrawal. I also withdrawals. Harmony. Solitude. Sorry for the poor lighting. I didn't turn on the lights because it's still daylight, but I'm going to have to turn on some light. Inertia. Oracle of Nightmares. Discernment. So dark. I have to turn it on now. Revelation. Okay. I'm going to keep going because I got so many decks to show you guys. And so you got to see a little smattering of the Oracle of Nightmares and the White Rabbit Oracle, of which I think I did unboxings for both. So you can check those out as well. I think I do have a playlist of unboxings that I've done. So check out all of them if you'd like. And next up, hold on, I'm going in order. Oh, like got the Illuminated Earth Oracle. Oh my gosh, you guys, I am in love with this deck. I ordered it through, I pre-ordered it through Etsy. I did that method, and it was a delightful method. I have done an unboxing of it. I do use this deck quite a bit in my weekly oracle readings that I do for the channel, and it's just so beautiful. And I use this deck, these are the backs. I used this deck recently for a client who's in the sciences. Actually, I have quite a few clients that are in the sciences, which is awesome. And I use this deck in conjunction with the stretch, and it was just a beautiful combination together. I may have to, if I haven't already done so, but I will do a tarot combos video to show it. Patience. Decay. It's abstract art, but there's moments where it's not so abstract, but I like the moments of both the abstract with the fine art, you'll see in a moment. Destruction. My intuition just explodes with it, with these cards. Potential. I love supporting indie deck creators. Underworld, and especially because she created such a quality deck, in my opinion, for a reasonable price, and I am just in awe of this deck. Relationship. Release. Epiphany. Let's see if I see anything else I want to show you. Oh, here's Anguish. Childhood. Separate. And it could go on and on. It's quite, I think, how many? Does it say on the back? 63 card deck, this deck. And yeah, it's a lot of cards for an oracle, and I like that too. I like a variety, and I like lots of cards. So the Illuminated Earth, a winner. Next, I wanted to talk about the Angels and Ancestors. Mostly, I think all of these decks, with the exception of one, and I'll talk about that one in a moment, has an unboxing. This is Angels and Ancestors by Kyle Gray, and I just adore this deck so much. I was like, for a while I was like, I'm kind of lay low off of the Hay House decks for a little bit, but I can't stay away. I will say that I have revamped my Colette Baron Reed decks, and I'll talk about that in a moment, what I mean by that. So here is Kyle Gray's Rich Backs. Oh my gosh. Lord. I'm not going to go through too many of them for time's sake. Sage. It's super diverse. It's super beautiful. Lily Moses did an amazing job for this deck. Oh, this is by far my favorite Kyle Gray deck. My son has the other two. I gifted those two, and I was like not really called to use the other two Kyle Gray decks anymore. But this one has been in heavy rotation for myself and for readings for others. Trader. Oh, it's just so beautiful. I'm not going to go through. If you want to see more, I think I did a full flip through of this deck when I did the unboxing. Gorgeous deck. Gorgeous. Okay, so I talked about angels. Oh, yep, here we go. Colette Baron Reed, the spirit animal. Let me talk about the spirit animal. Okay. Wasn't going to get this deck. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not going to get the goddess one. I'm not really into goddess energy like that. Like, I love when there's a few goddesses thrown into my decks, but I'm like, okay, if it's in my deck, it's in my deck. If it's not, it's not. I bet you I end up buying that deck. But we'll see, because I end up kind of purging some or selling off some of my Colette Baron Reed decks, like the Wisdom of the Oracle. I sold the Good Tarot. I feel like there's one more that I sold. I think that's it, maybe. I have a list of which ones I sold, and I kept the Mystical Shaman, is it? And this one obviously is brand new to me. And the Enchanted Map. That is what I kept. And I'm glad I did. I'm very impressed with this deck. I wasn't even in the market for an additional animal oracle, and I just had to have it, and I'm so happy I did. Look at that. It's just so pretty. It's got this fancy ribbon. I think I prefer this setup more than I do the Mystical Shaman one. It's just too much packaging and whatnot. But this, look how chunky this is. Just chunky, delicious goodness. Thank you, Colette. This is so chunky, in fact. That is 204 pages. Thick. Beautiful card backs. Some people don't like the little jewels hanging off the animals. I don't mind. I think it's a gorgeous deck. This will be like my winter, fall, early spring probably deck for animal decks, and then I'm going to use my other animal oracle in the later spring and summer. Got this all figured out, let me tell you. But I don't know. I really like this one. I'm not going to show you all the cards for time purposes. Check out the unboxing of this one. I'm so surprised and blown away by the quality of the deck in terms of the guidebook, the artwork, this card stock, the presentation of the box, the magnetic box opening. the book being able to fit inside the box. Good job, creator. Good job. All right, now going in order. Let's see. Work your light. Yes, because that ties into the tarot. Work your light. Wasn't getting a lot of play for a while for me, partly because I was like not feeling like it was the season for this deck. Now I'm doing seasonal decks, guys, and I actually like it. I feel like I am really touching on my decks now that I've moved more to a seasonal thing and switching out my decks, so that's cool. But I wasn't really using the Work Your Light one, and I was worried about that. Here's that one. It says the initiation. But every time I do a reading, it's always on point, whether I'm looking for prediction or prescription. And it plays so nicely with my Moonchild tarot. Share your voice. I have done an unboxing of this deck, the Age of Light. It's just so beautiful. I have to give it to Hay House and their creators this year. They really have. They've stepped it up, and I'm so happy. I'm so sick of the glossy card stock and the super glossy and with the weird gold edges. Not the pretty gilded gold edges that's on like the Moonchild or the Star Child or the Sacred Creators. I'm looking at it. It's that stuff that just quickly rubs off, and they might as well just not even bother. Don't dim to fit in. So, the reason why I wanted to use this deck as the last oracle, that it is a favorite of mine that I use quite a bit for readings, mainly for myself, because I'm still only using the Moonchild, which is another favorite, October favorite. I'm only using this one for readings for myself and not readings for others as of yet. I think I only did a reading for another person once this month. And it was on point. It's just, I'm still getting to know this deck, and I don't always like to just jump in and start using my decks, my brand new decks for readings for others. I'd like to get to know the deck a little bit before we bust it out. Uh-oh. I pick up my Moonchild cards that fell before my dog tries to run off with it. And now I'm going to be fervently looking to make sure it was just the only one. You know, I have to count my cards to make who I am. That's how you know I am. Alright, so here is the Moonchild. Oh, and hold on, guys, so you can hear me. I want you to hear me. You need to hear me. Okay. Gilding, like, so gorgeous. I talked so much mess about the Star Child and how I don't have it and how I wasn't sure if I was ever going to get it. But the Moonchild, I'm so happy I got it. It reads so well. It's so beautiful, its energy. I can't even tell you. Four of Swords. It is one of my soul decks. And I've determined I have a few soul decks. Not just one. A few. But it's one of the few. And I'm so happy I got it. It probably will make its way to readings for others soon. Six of Pentacles. Because I've been doing a lot of readings. When I pull out the tarot, I'm pulling this one out, or the Bohemian Gothic. And yeah. Ace of Swords. So I unboxed it, so check that out if you want to see a full flip through of that. I'm pretty sure I went through all the cards. Not most of them, but they just play so nicely with the Work Your Light. Let me show you this one. I just adore it. Just adore the two together, apart from one another. Both of the decks, the Work Your Light and the Moonchild, play nicely with other decks. I was very surprised by the usability. I will admit. I wasn't thinking I was going to be able to use it a lot, but I'm using them, so yay. Let's see. Bohemian Gothic, the Moonchild. Oh, I switched it. The Bohemian Gothic. I'm not going to, because this is the one I haven't done an unboxing yet. I actually filmed the unboxing some time ago, but I keep forgetting to put it up, and I'm going to go ahead and put it up. I'm probably going to put the Bohemian Gothic up before I post this favorites video, so you guys will probably get a chuckle out of that. But I've had this deck now for a little bit, and I really, really like it. So I'm not going to go into too much, because I did go through the entire deck in the unboxing. And I can't wait to put it up, actually. Here's the little white book. This is my first and only Baba Studio tarot deck, and I don't know if I'm going to get the other ones. I looked at the other ones, but I really like this one. I've always wanted this one, and I kept going back, which editions did I want? Here's the backs, and the quality of the deck is just amazing. The readability for both readings for myself and others is amazing. I just adore it. I just love looking at it and staring at the images. Gorgeous. But yeah, I gotta post that up first. And I'm not gonna go through all these images because, oh, look at the Two of Cups. Because I want to show you guys it in a more detailed, unrushed kind of way. And the box is just cool too. This little flip box. So brilliant. So yeah, I love the Bohemian Gothic. I had fought a long time. It had been on my wish list for so long. And I kept hemming and hawing about buying it because I was like, oh no, it's a lot of money. I mean, I've spent actually more on decks than what I spent on the Bohemian Gothic brand new. And that's the 3rd edition, by the way. I ended up picking the 3rd edition after agonizing, because on one of the tarot swap sites or on Facebook, the one had popped up. I think it was the 1st edition. It was kind of pricey, understandably so. And then I said, well, let me see what people are saying about the different editions. And then I found out that some people really like the 3rd edition the best. And then I started watching the different videos, and that's when I arrived to the conclusion that I want the 3rd edition. And it worked out beautifully. So yeah, there you have it. That's the little backstory behind the Bohemian Gothic for me. And then the stretch. Like I mentioned before, I use this in conjunction with the Illuminated Earth for a client, and oh my gosh, here are the backs. It's such a cool deck. It is Thoth-based. That is the 8 of Swords. It says interference at the top. And I don't mind it. King of Pentacles. The Chariot. And I think I like using this deck more for my readings for men. And I use it for readings for women too, and for myself. But it just, I don't know, I think it can speak. I work really well with it when I'm doing readings for the opposite sex. 8 of Pentacles. If that makes any sense. 9 of Swords. Page of Swords. I won't go to too many of them because I have done an unboxing or a video of this deck, 3 of Wands. I have the 1st edition. I thought about getting the newest one, having a backup, but I'm trying not to operate like that anymore. No more backups either. I just use it and love it till it falls to pieces. And then I start to toy with the idea of getting a backup, or I just use all my decks till they all kind of get worn, and then we can start talking about backups. No more backups. I have now just maybe one deck that has a backup, and that won't be a regular habit for me anymore. Let me tell you, I had to have some I shouldn't even say this. I had to have some quote unquote come to Jesus moments with my tarot collecting. And I know it looks like I collect a lot, but a lot of these were either wish list purchases, the ones I made this year, or pre-orders that I made some time ago that I was like, yeah, I still want these decks. But I've really been a lot more selective and having more criteria on what decks are going to come into my life. And then finally, the New Era Elements Tarot, which is also cloth based. And I also really like this deck. And it surprised me how much I liked it. It's in a sepia tone. I did do an unboxing of this one as well. And I'm happy I got it. And I like reading with it. And I have done a couple of readings for others as well as myself. I kind of made it a little exception and read right away with it for someone, and it read beautifully. Change. For fire, it looks like. Flamethrower. Two of Cups. The seahorses. So, I did an unboxing. Not going to bore you. Oh, wait. No. I have to show you. I like this. I don't know. This makes me happy seeing this. For some reason, I don't even know. It's the, what, 3 of Air? Makes me happy. Is that 3? No, 3 of Pentacles, right? I'm so bad with my little elements. Anyways, there you have it, folks. That is my October favorites in a nutshell. It's been so much fun. It's been a lot of work. It's been highs and lows, but mostly highs. How's it been for you all? What have you been up to this month? What decks have you been working with? Have you been working with any of the ones I've been working with? What about songs? What about books? Have you checked out the books that I've been reading? What books have you been reading? Because I may feature it in a future favorites. All right, guys. Much love to you. Have a very blessed and abundant month ahead. Bye.